Will Smith was born Willard Carroll Smith II on September 25, 1968, to parents Caroline Nee Bright, a school board administrator, and Willard Carroll Smith Sr., a U.S. Air Force veteran and refrigeration engineer. He grew up in the Winfield neighborhood of West Philadelphia and was raised Baptist. He has an older sister named Pamela and two younger siblings who are twins, Harry and Ellen, making Will the middle child. Will was known to be a happy-go-lucky kid and was known as a charmer, which is how he got the nickname Prince. Will attended Our Lady of Lourdes, a private Catholic elementary school in the Overbrook section of Philadelphia. The school was filled with predominantly white students, with Will being one of the few black students. Will was known to be intelligent in school and engaged his passion for music with academic progress. Will was known to have a quick wit about him, always able to talk and charm his way out of trouble. He was known to be a bit mischievous, often getting into silly incidents, but when he wasn't fooling around, he loved music. He learned to play the piano from his mother and taught himself how to play the drums. However, Will's home life was complicated. On the outside, his father, Willard Smith Sr., appeared to be the perfect family man. A provider, he took care of his family, making it possible for food to be on the table every night. He attended every sporting event, play, and recital that the children had. But what people did not know was that Willard Sr. was a violent alcoholic who physically abused Will's mother, Caroline. For example, one night when Will was about 9 years old, his father punched his mother in the side of the head so hard that it caused her to spit up blood and collapse. Feeling helpless and wanting to avenge his mother, Will stood there paralyzed by fear. In that moment, Will vowed that one day he would avenge his mother. Decades later, while caring for his father who was dying of cancer, Will got that chance. One night, as Will was wheeling his father from his bedroom toward the bathroom in his wheelchair, a darkness arose within him. The path between the bathroom and the bedroom went past the top of the stairs. Remembering the vow that he had made to himself that one day when he was big enough, strong enough, and no longer a coward, he would kill his father. Nearing the stairs, Will contemplated pushing his father down the flight of stairs, telling himself that he could get away with it and nobody would know otherwise. Instead, he thought against it, wheeled him on down the hallway. His father later died in 2016. Will's parents separated, with Will then attending Overbrook High School in West Philadelphia. Since the age of 12, Will had begun rapping. One time, his grandmother found a notebook of his lyrics which contained curse words, and she wrote him a note on a page in the book. "Dear Willard, truly intelligent people do not have to use words like this to express themselves. Please show the world that you're as smart as we think you are." Will said that this influenced his decision not to use profanity in his music. Will engaged in rapping so much that once he graduated from high school, he decided not to go to college, but instead pursue a music career. Now, it's been rumored that Will had a scholarship to MIT, but he has always denied this, saying that because his mother worked for the school board of Philadelphia, she had a friend who was the admissions officer at MIT. Because Will had high SAT scores and the school needed black kids at that time, he probably could have gotten in, but Will says that he had no intention or interest in going to college. When Will was 16, he met his music partner DJ Jeff Towns at a house party when Jeff was missing his hype man. Will decided to fill in, they both felt strong chemistry, and soon after, the pair joined forces.
Hold on. We gotta try that again. Hold on. Seriously. Alright, hold on. This is what we're gonna do, right? Then I'm gonna walk out on stage again, right? And I want everybody to say, yeah! Alright, here we go. Alright, you're making me blush. Alright, hold on. I'd like to introduce my dancers. Right here, this is the man we call The Wiz, right here. And this is my homeboy, Omar Money. And aboard the wheels of steel is the undisputed greatest DJ alive, DJ Jazzy Jeff, right? Now I want my dancers to do a little something individually first. Oh, just do a little something, oh. Hey, Wiz, give him a little bit, Wiz, just a little bit. All right, now out in the place, a little something like this. Let me them hands in there. Where all the ladies at? Oh, I saw some fine ladies when I was coming in here. Where all the ladies? There goes one out there right now. Where are the ladies at? All right, now, Jeff, we gotta take them back, right? I wanna give them a little bit. We're gonna get funky with it in a place to be a little something like this, right? Hey, Jeff, now you ready? You ready? Now you gotta test it up, man, because we gotta get ready to rip things. You ready? You got it? You test it up? 1, 2, 1, 2. DJ Jazzy Jeff and yours truly, the Fresh Prince, are making an addition to all the events of the past and present musical eras. We want the young and the old to hear us as we blend to different styles of music. Never will another group be able to do this the way that we sing. The present with the past, our hip-hop, but with a touch of jazz. And let me get everybody waving hands back and forth a little something like this. Let me hear you say yeah! Say hell yeah! Say just go, just go, just go, go! Go Jazzy, go Jazzy, go Jazzy! Attention to all parents and guardians. Here's a rap record that's not about partying. It's deep with meaningful rapping. It can very well close the generation gap in music and make parents and children all sit down and they'll both be willing to listen to our music. Rap with classes, hip hop, with a jazz. I want to tell them something. Jazzy Jeff is, Fresh Prince is, and all of y'all are. So come on, Jazzy Jeff and rock up. Alright, now Jeff, that's what I want you to do, right? I want you to take these good times, right? Now everybody already heard us say good times. I want you to take just a second or two to make these good times just a little bit better than they were in the first place, right? Now they good, Jeff. I want you to make them Jeff times, not good times no more. They're not good no more, they Jeff. It's amazing, no. In fact, it's phenomenal. It's utterly stupendous. It's mind-boggling how the two sides such as Prince and Jazzy Jeff wind up being so jazz. What do you know? With this much talent, you say you know someone. I doubt it now. You know why? Because we're the cream of the crop. You would have thought that we could jazz up with this pop. I was wrong. The cat got this off. You know that this record is headed for #1 all the time we're tops in our class. Because we mix hip-hop up with...
Philadelphia-based Word Records released their first single in 1986, Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble. Will became known for lighthearted storytelling raps that were profanity-free. The single became a hit just 1 month before Will graduated from high school. Based on this success, the duo were brought to the attention of Jive Records and Russell Simmons. Their first album, Rock the House, debuted on Jive in March of 1987. The group received their first Grammy for Best Rap Performance in 1989 for Parents Just Don't Understand. However, the rap category of Best Rap Performance was not aired because at that time, the Grammys did not show that part of the show on the air. In consequence, Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff boycotted the event.
Chose to boycott. We feel that it's a slap in the face.
1989, why he and musical partner DJ Jazzy Jeff decided to boycott music's biggest night after the Academy chose to not air the rap category on TV.
We boycotted the 1989 Grammy show. We don't have a problem with the Grammy as an award or the Grammy as an institution. We just had a problem with the 1989 design of the award show. We feel that our music was important enough and is important enough to have been on the show.
The duo won their first Grammy ever that year for their hit Parents Just Don't Understand. Despite being honored, their real goal was standing up for their genre.
I think it was just lack of knowledge.
Yeah, ignorance on the part of Naris. They don't know anything about rap music, and our boycott was to open their eyes to rap music, so next year some rap group will be able to perform on the Grammys and the award will be televised.
Now it seems that the boycott worked because that following year, in 1990, the Grammys began televising the rap category. During the show, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince performed their hilariously popular song, I Think I Can Beat Mike Tyson.
Our hero, Iron Mike Tyson. So yo, check this out. These are teenage dancers. Warm it up for 'em. Let me tell you a story. Well, I was in Jeff's crib one night about 8. We was like,
Man, you see how hard Mike is punching.
come on, Jeff, dog, the guy was just lunging. Left, right, another KO. If that was me, I'd have been okay, though. The very next day, I gave Russell a ring with JL and Leon. We all called Don King. I said, yeah, Don, I got a problem.
Tell him, Prince.
Yeah, what's up? What you saying? You trying to solve? Forget the small talk. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Me and Mike, 2 months, Trump, Atlantic City.
Yo, you got this. You gon' bust dude up.
Yeah, you can be my trainer.
Word up.
Well, I'm rough like a freight train, smooth like ice, and no, Jeff, straight up, I think I can beat Mike Tyson. Hey, Jeff, what do you think, man?
I think you can do it.
All right, let me tell you what happened. I had a press conference. People thought I was a fool, so I got a chance to fight. Check it out. Well, it's fight day, and man, am I hyped. Boy, I can't wait to see Mike. Boy, I'm hyped, ready to do my thing. Trump Castle Casino.
Ding, ding.
In this corner, weighing in at a mere 165 pounds, the Lightning Road and the Fresh Prince. And in this corner, the heavyweight champion. All right, here I go. I came out, right? It's ready, too. Hustling, sliding, and grabbing, slipping and dipping, hustling and jabbing. For a second, I look good out there, but then Mike brought to reality my worst nightmare. One punch, that's all it took. He hit me in my ribs and my inside shook. Now how can I say this and be a little discreet? Let's just say that my bowels released. Called time out and went back to my corner. Said to my coach, ain't no way I'm gonna. Now back out there, man, you can forget it. My body's like a punching bag and Mike is gonna hit it. They tried to make me go meet my doom, but I sucker punched my coach and I hauled to my dressing room. The next day, the headline in the town. Fresh Prince break camp. Tyson wins first round. Some fool, that's why I ran away. Said a good run is better than a bad stand any day. My career is always fun fighting, but what made me think that I could beat Mike Tyson?
In 1991, their hit single Summertime, which is an all-time favorite still played today, was released. The song describes the joys of summertime in the group's hometown city of Philadelphia, with the video being shot in Philadelphia at historic Belmont Park. Summertime earned the group their second Grammy and peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. Now you would think this would be the best time of Will Smith's life. Successful hits, winning awards, traveling all over doing shows.
But if I am, so what? Stop it! Cause me and Jeff are about to go rock this. We're musical, magical radicals. No small letters and our names only capitals. It's unbelievable, inconceivable that we'll ever be defeated. Impossible. We're a brand new group, but so what, man? We still got hundreds of thousands of fans. I'm the Prince, and this is my crew. You thought that it was old, you're wrong. It's new, it's out of the ordinary, it's rather extraordinary. So yo, what's this commentary? A literary genius and a superior beat creator have come together. And we made a musical composition which we think is a remedy to cure all the dance floors that's empty. You wanna dance? We got what you want. Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince coming out with the brand new funk. The brand new funk. The brand new funk. Funk, funk, funk. The brand new funk. The 1989 CDH dancers, oh my wish. Go, go, go. Yo, what up, Jay?
Can I break it down?
Oh, you want to break it down? All right, hold on, y'all. Let's break it down, bro. We're going to take a break and we're going to break it down right here. You ready? You ready, Jeff? All right, here we go. One and two and it was kind of an accident. The way that it happened. One day I was...
But actually, between 1988 and 1989, Will went through some pretty serious ups and downs. Will had amassed a sizable amount of money from his music, but between 1988 and 1989, he had spent a lot of money freely, which caused him to file bankruptcy due to a $2.8 million backlog of unpaid taxes. The IRS confiscated his possessions and began garnishing his wages to pay back the large debt. And as if that was not enough, in 1989, days after Will and Jazzy Jeff won their first Grammy, Will was arrested in relation to an alleged assault on his record promoter, which resulted in the promoter losing sight in one of his eyes. It is alleged that Will had instructed his bodyguard to attack the promoter, but for what reason, no one knows. The record promoter was left needing 6 stitches after his left eye orbit was fractured during the attack. Will was charged with aggravated assault, criminal conspiracy, simple assault, and recklessly endangering another person. He spent overnight in a cell at the West Philadelphia police station and says that the other inmates woke him up all night asking for his autograph. It was the worst night of his life and he wanted to just forget all about it. And that is just what he was able to do because the charges against Will were later dismissed. Knee-deep in debt, fresh off of catching criminal charges, it seemed like Will could not catch a break. That is, until a moment that would change his life forever fell in his lap. Quincy Jones was being honored with the Heritage Award for Career Achievement at the Soul Train Music Awards that year, and he was also having an after party, which was also a birthday celebration for him at his Bel Air, California mansion. Will was invited to that party. Now, as he was in the car driving to Quincy's house, there was a traffic jam. Now, when Will has told this story, he said that he was sitting in the traffic jam and it gave him time to contemplate on why the hell he was going to Quincy Jones's house. When he pulled up, there was valet parking. Quincy Jones had valet parking at his house. 20 red-coated valet parkers were in the driveway. Will says, by the time I arrived, the party was on full bang. Everybody was there, from Steven Spielberg to Tevin Campbell, Stevie Wonder, and Lionel Richie were arriving as I pulled up. That was too much for me. I knew I didn't belong here. And right away, before my fragile self-image convinced me to bounce, I saw Benny Medina, a familiar face. Hey man, Benny called out, you made it. I wanted to say, yeah man, fuck you, I'm out. But instead I said, yo man, don't take that jacket off, trust me, you won't see it again. Benny was wearing one of those Versace Picasso looking jackets. He laughed, tugged on the lapel and said, if tonight goes well, it's yours. Let's go meet Quincy. I just thought that was too fast. Couldn't I at least get a drink first on one of them little toast points with some cheese or some salmon or something? Damn, you just gonna rush me to meet Quincy Jones from the driveway. I need to stretch. You're not gonna have me pulling a hammy out here. The center of the party was in Quincy's massive living room with 2-story vaulted ceilings and a couple hundred of Hollywood's heaviest hitters and A-list rainmakers. Quincy was holding court. A sorcerer in a designer jacket with a piano keyboard embroidered down the left side. Benny and I enter, and before Benny can make the introduction, Quincy and I catch eyes. Hey, Quincy yells out, the Fresh Prince is here, y'all. Now that would have been embarrassing if anybody had given a shit, but it didn't matter to me because the most important person gave a shit. Quincy is like that. He loves and enjoys people. Every person is a unique work of art to him. He doesn't play celebrity favorites. He genuinely finds something interesting about everybody. Quincy ran across the room, arms open, and grips Benny and I in a single embrace. Welcome, man, welcome, Quincy gushes. Thank you, Mr. Jones. This house is amazing. I gush right back. Oh, you like this? This is Bel Air. Benny trying to set the show up in Beverly Hills. I keep telling him, man, fuck Beverly Hills. Bel Air make Beverly Hills look like public housing. Did Benny tell you about the show? Well, a little bit. He told me he grew up in Watts and he moved in with a rich family. Where you from? Quincy said. Philly, I said, with the requisite swag and pride that Philadelphians use to make sure you know that our city is better than yours. Oh man, I love Philly. He leaned in and whispered. I had some things happen in Philly we not even going to talk about. Then he laughed and nodded, signifying some unspeakable wilder days in his youth. Okay, that's it. That's perfect. Your character's from Philly. Will from Philly, then he goes to Bel Air. He was back at full volume now. Quincy had clearly been tasting a little bit. I figured it was his house and his birthday and his achievement award, so if he wanted to be drunk and loud, then goddamn it, Quincy, you be drunk and loud. Brandon! Quincy hollered across the room at a 40-something-year-old white guy. The guy seemed low-key, understated attire, but everybody was fully attentive while he was talking. Well, that's until Quincy interrupted him, shouting his name, startling him and pretty much everybody else. Quincy waves him over. Brandon, it's Philly to Bel Air now. Brandon Tartikoff was the head of NBC and the most powerful decision maker at the network. He decided which shows were financed and aired at the station. He approached with his second in command, Warren Littlefield. Y'all come meet the Fresh Prince, Quincy said. We all shook hands. They looked at me in a way that I missed back then, but I understand today. It's the look that executives have when tens of hours of conversations have gone on about you behind your back, and they still haven't quite decided if they're going to roll the dice on you. Okay, yeah, can I have everybody's attention, Quincy bellowed. We're going to have an audition. Clear the furniture out the living room. I was looking around thinking, oh wow, an audition at a party. That's dope. Quincy is the man. I wonder who's auditioning. Get Will a copy of that Morris Day script, the one we were working on, Quincy said. At first slowly and then painfully, I remember that my name was Will. My father had given it to me, and since he wasn't here and nobody else was moving, reality took hold. Quincy Jones was asking me to do an impromptu audition in front of some of the biggest icons present and past in all of entertainment, not to mention the top brass at NBC. I grabbed Quincy's arm, probably a little harder than was respectful. Quincy, no, I can't do this now, I whispered in his ear. Quincy looked at me with an unflinching tipsy joy. Y'all keep setting up, he ordered the room. I'm gonna go talk to Will in the library. Quincy's library was dark mahogany, high back leathered armchairs. I don't know if the rugs were from Persia, but they looked expensive. I don't remember much else about the room because I was blinded by the glare from the gaggle of Grammy, Tony, Emmy, and Academy Awards scattered around the place like butter knives in a Swiss Cottage hotel bathroom. A framed poster of Oprah Winfrey's The Color Purple hovered over my left shoulder. Michael Jackson's Thriller Cells plaque loomed over my right shoulder. I felt Michael looking at me on his toes in the classic Billie Jean pose, as if he were saying, "So what you gonna do, Will?" I take a seat. Quincy stands in front of me. He's been here before. This is what he does. He moves rocks for a living. "Talk to me, Philly," he says. "What you need?" "Quincy, I'm not prepared to do an audition," I stammered. "I didn't know when you called it, you know, we were gonna do all that. It's only a couple of scenes. I got some people out there who will read with you. You just gotta be you and have some fun." "Quincy, I can't do an audition in the middle of a party. I need to prepare. I just need some time to work on it." "Okay, I hear that. How much time you need?" Quincy asked. "I mean, just give me a week and I'll find an acting coach and I can study it so I can do it, not just read it." Quincy considered my words. "Okay, so you need a week?" "Yes, a week. A week would be perfect." "Okay, so now you know what's going to happen in a week?" Quincy asked. Before I can answer, he said, "Brandon Toktikov is going to have an emergency on one of his shows and he's going to have to fly to Kansas to fire somebody. Then he's going to have to reschedule for the following week." "Oh, cool. 2 weeks would be even better," I said, missing the subtleties of Quincy's point. "Right, 2 weeks. Then Warren Littlefield is going to have something at his kid's elementary school that he forgot was on the schedule. He can't get out because his wife's going to tear him a new one if he doesn't show up. And then he's going to have to reschedule for 2 weeks after that." "Right," I said, slowly starting to get the point. "So a month?" Quincy leaned in, eyes crystal clear, suddenly sharp, suddenly sober. "But right now, everybody that needs to say yes to this show is sitting out there in that living room waiting for you. And you are about to make a decision that will affect the rest of your life." I took it in. I looked at Michael, then to Oprah, then looked right back at Quincy. "What you gonna do, Philly?" "Fuck it," I said. "Give me 10 minutes. And the rest is history. NBC hired him for The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1990. The show became a success, with Will gaining recognition as an actor. Enjoying professional success, Will also had a personal life that was taking off as well, with him marrying Sheree Zampino in 1992. The pair met on the set of A Different World when Will had actually went there in hopes of meeting Jada Pinkett, who was on the show at the time. He saw Sheree chatting with the writer of the show and overheard their conversation. Will introduced himself to Sheree and the two hit it off, with Will telling jokes and Sheree laughing hysterically at them. They enjoyed each other so much that when the taping was over, the two left together and went out for dinner. 3 months later, they were married, welcoming their son Willard Trey Smith III into the world on November 11th of 1992. Now, if Will and Sheree met in 1992, got married 3 months later, had their son in November of 92, that would mean that they got pregnant as soon as they started dating. What they had that night for dinner, they must have had oysters or something, child. Now, the two did not stay married long, divorcing in 1995, with rumors that the reason for the breakup was that Sheree caught Will having sex with a man in their bedroom. Now, Sheree has denied the allegations, saying that they are not true. She did not find Will in the bed with a man or a woman. Nothing like that happened. Infidelity was not the reason for their marriage ending. Sheree says marrying young, she being 24 and Will 23, them being young parents, it was all just too much for her, with her being the one to leave the marriage, saying that she was simply unhappy. Sheree filed for divorce on Valentine's Day, and it was finalized later that year in 1995. Now later on in this video, we're going to spill some hot tea about this first marriage and this first film. Now, while his marriage may have been in trouble, Will's career in acting was on the rise, and in 1993, he made his debut with the movie 6 Degrees of Separation. Next, in 1996, Will starred in Independence Day. The film was a massive blockbuster, becoming the second highest grossing film in history at that time, and establishing Will as a prime box office draw.
See if you can fly that thing undercover. Hope you got an airbag. Bitch. That's right! That's right! Get up! Get up! That's what you get! Look at you! Ship all banged up! Who's the man? Huh? Who's the man? Wait till I get another plane! I'm lining all your friends up right beside you! Where you at, huh? Huh? Where you at? Welcome to Earth. That's what I call a close encounter. You know, this was supposed to be my weekend off. But no. You got me out here dragging your heavy ass through the burning desert with your dreadlocks sticking out the back of my parachute. You gotta come down here with an attitude, acting all big and bad. And what the hell is that smell? I could have been at a barbecue. But I ain't mad. It's all right. That is all right.
In this film, Vivica Fox played Will's girlfriend, and during this time, Will had begun dating Jada Pinkett. It seems that he had never forgotten about the girl that got away from him on the set of A Different World, and now that his marriage to Sheree was over, he had realized that Jada was actually the love of his life. So he scooped her up and the two began dating. When Vivica auditioned to play Jasmine, a stripper that would be Will's love interest in the film, it appeared that she would have some competition on her hands. Jada was considered playing Jasmine as well. However, she had already signed on to play Carla in The Nutty Professor. Once Jada decided not to take the role, the movie's casting directors auditioned Vivica. Vivica recalls that Jada and Will were madly in love at this time, and she told Jada, "Honey, I got to kiss your man in this film, so don't be tripping." Jada responded saying, "Girl, dive on in, just load up on that banaka." After Vivica took Jada's advice to go ahead and dive in, she and Will shared the kiss in the closing of the movie. The kiss earned an MTV award for the best kiss in 1997, and when Will accepted the award, Will told the audience, "Anytime you can win an award for kissing a fine woman like Vivica Fox, you know this is just the life." In the summer of 1997, Will starred alongside Tommy Lee Jones in the hit Men in Black, playing Agent J. The film was released on July 2nd by Columbia Pictures and grossed over $589 million worldwide against a $90 million budget, becoming the year's third highest grossing film with an estimated 55 million tickets sold in the U.S.
Unlimited technology from the whole universe, and we cruise around in a Ford POS.
Fasten your seatbelt.
See, now we got to work on your people skills. You know, you get a much better reaction if you were a little more polite.
Fasten your seatbelt, please.
Whoa, that was good. Did you hear just...
Oh, the red button there, kid. Don't ever touch the red button.
On December 31st, 1997, Will and Jada were married. Wearing a champagne-colored velvet gown, Jada walked down the aisle, meeting Will, who was dressed in a dapper white tux. Jada was 3 months pregnant with their first child at that time. A young actress herself at the time, the pressures of having a career and having pregnancy sickness, Jada was miserable on her wedding day. She has recently revealed that she actually did not want to get married, but was pressured by her mother. Despite not wanting the wedding, the two were married later, welcoming their first child, a son that the couple named Jaden Christopher Sire Smith. Men in Black and his second single, Just Cruisin', was later included on Will's debut solo album, Big Willie Style, which reached the top 10 of the U.S. Billboard 200 and was certified 9 times platinum. The third single from the album, Getting Jiggy With It, became Will's first Billboard Hot 100, #1, earning him a Grammy. In the same year, Will starred with Gene Hackman in Enemy of the State. The following year, he turned down the role of Neo in The Matrix in favor of Wild Wild West. Despite the disappointment of Wild Wild West, Will said that he has no regrets about his decision, asserting that Keanu Reeves' performance as Neo was superior to what he himself would have achieved. Will's second album, Millennium, was again supported by the release of a film theme song as the lead single. Wild Wild West, featuring Drew Hill and Kumo D, topped the Billboard Hot 100 and was certified gold. Millennium reached number 5 on the Billboard 200 and was certified double platinum. In 1999, Will 2K, the second single from the album, reached number 25 on the Billboard Hot 100. The same year, he was also featured on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air co-star Tatiana Ali's single, Boy You Knock Me Out. On October 31st, 2000, Will and his wife Jada welcomed their second child, a girl that the couple named Willow Smith. In 2001, Will portrayed heavyweight boxer Muhammad Ali in the biopic Ali. For his performance, he was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor and the Golden Globe Award for Best Actor Motion Picture Drama. In 2002, following a 4-year musical hiatus, Will returned with his third album, Born to Reign, which reached number 13 on the Billboard 200 and was certified gold. The album's lead single was the theme song for Will's film Men in Black 2, called Black Suits Comin', Nod Your Head, which reached number 3 on the UK singles chart. In 2003, Will returned for Bad Boys 2, the sequel to the 1990 film Bad Boys. The film follows detectives Burnett and Lowry investigating the flow of ecstasy into Miami. Despite receiving generally negative reviews, the film was a box office success, grossing $270 million worldwide. In the following year, he starred in the science fiction film I, Robot and the animated film Shark Tale.
Will you stop screwing around? This'll never work. We're dead. We're dead.
Thank you, Sykes. Thank you. And my man Sykes has just begged me not to murderize all y'all up in here, all right? Now, I might listen to him, but then again, I might not. And that depends on the individual behavior of all the individuals in here individually. Ain't that right?
Look, he's got dolphin muscle.
My Uncle Vito got whacked by one of those.
All right. Now, which one of you sardines called this meeting?
Both films were box office successes. In 2005, Will was entered into the Guinness Book of World Records for attending 3 premieres in a 24-hour time span. Will and his son Jaden played father and son in the 2006 film The Pursuit of Happiness. In the film, Will portrays Chris Gardner. Will first became interested in making a film about Gardner after seeing him on 2020 and connected with him during production. The film, along with Will's performance, received praise. On December 10, 2007, Will was honored at Grauman's Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard. Will left an imprint of his hands and feet outside the theater in front of many fans. Later that month, Will starred in the film I Am Legend, released on December 14, 2007. Its opening was the largest ever for a film released in the United States. Will himself has said that he considers the film to be aggressively unique. A reviewer said that the film's commercial success cemented Will's standing as the #1 box office draw in Hollywood. On December 1st, 2008, TV Guide reported that Will was selected as one of America's top 10 most fascinating people of 2008 for a Barbara Walters ABC special that aired on December 4th of 2008. In 2008 again, Will starred in the superhero movie Hancock, which grossed $228 million in the United States and Canada and had a worldwide total of $625 million. On May 25, 2012, Will returned as Agent J with Men in Black 3. After the release of the film, Will was content with ending his work with the franchise, saying, "I think 3 is enough for me. 3 if anything is enough for me. We'll look at it and we'll consider it, but it feels like it might be time to let someone else do that." Men in Black 3 grossed over $624 million worldwide. It is the highest grossing film in the series. In 2013, Will starred in After Earth with his son Jaden. The film was a disappointment at the domestic box office, with Will calling the film the most painful failure in his career. Will ended up taking a 1.5-year break as a result. Will starred opposite Margot Robbie in the romance drama Focus, released on February 27th of 2015. He played Nikki Spurgeon, a veteran con artist who takes a young, attractive woman under his wing. Will was set to star in the sci-fi thriller Brilliance, but he left the project to work on the sports drama Concussion. In Concussion, Will played Dr. Bennett Omalu of the Brain Injury Research Institute. Will reported he had doubts about the film early in the production, saying, "Some of my happiest memories are of my son playing football. I didn't want to be the guy who did a movie saying football could be dangerous." These views subsided when he met Dr. Omalu, whose words about American ideals resonated with Will. In 2016, Will played Deadshot in the supervillain action film Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was a massive financial success, earning over $700 million at the box office. Later that year, Will starred in the drama Collateral Beauty, playing a New York advertising executive who succumbs to a deep depression after a personal tragedy. Weeks after signing Will onto the film, his father was diagnosed with cancer, from which he died in 2016. As part of his role, it required him to read about religion and the afterlife. He was brought closer to his father, calling the experience a beautiful way to prepare for a movie and an even more majestic way to say goodbye to my father. The film marked the lowest box office opening of Will Smith's career. His film Bright was distributed via Netflix on December 22, 2017. In urban fantasy, it was the most expensive film for Netflix to date. That month, Will launched his own YouTube channel, which has 9.9 million subscribers and 718 million total views. Will performed the official song Live It Up alongside American singer Nicky Jam and Kosovar singer Era Estrefe at the closing ceremony of the 2018 World Cup in Moscow, Russia. Will portrayed the genie in the live-action adaptation of Disney's Aladdin. Aladdin grossed over $1 billion worldwide to become Will's highest-grossing film, surpassing Independence Day.
What? Step 3? There is no step 3. See, it's that easy. I can't make anybody love anybody or bring anybody back from the dead. Oh, feel free to interrupt me anytime you don't understand. I'm kidding. Don't ever interrupt me, no matter what. Do me a favor. Do not drink from that cup. I promise you there's not enough money and power on earth for you to be satisfied. Good? So, what's your first wish? I never said I was all-knowing. I said I was all-powerful, the most powerful being in the universe. Look, whatever I don't know, I know I can learn it.
Okay, Genie. I wish for you to get us out of this cave.
He has made his first wish.
Will appeared as an assassin who faces off against a younger clone of himself in the film Gemini Man, released on October 11, 2019. The film was a box office bomb and received negative reviews from critics, calling the film a high-concept misfire. Later that year, Will starred in the animated film Spies in Disguise. He voiced Lance Sterling, a spy who teams up with the nerdy inventor who creates his gadgets. In 2020, he teamed with Martin Lawrence for the third film in their franchise, Bad Boys for Life.
Hey! Oh, shit. Oh. Come on, man.
You could get that buffed out.
No, you can get that buffed out.
One last time.
One last time.
I'm the definition of half man, half drugs. Ask the clubs, bad boy, that's what's up.
He trying to do them all. We're not just black, we're cops too. We'll pull ourselves over later.
In June of that year, it was announced that Will would star in the film Emancipation, in which he portrays Peter, a runaway slave who outsmarts hunters and the Louisiana swamp on a journey to the Union Army. Emancipation was set to debut in 2022, and it was sold to Apple Studios for $120 million, which made it the largest film festival acquisition deal in film history. Will's memoir, titled Will, was published on November 9, 2021, and was promoted with a tour. The book is a journey of self-knowledge, recalling childhood traumas, his relationship with his father, and his experiences with ayahuasca, which is a plant-based psychoactive brew used both socially and as a ceremonial spiritual medicine among the indigenous peoples of the Amazon basin. Will portrayed Richard Williams, father and coach of tennis players Venus and Serena Williams, in the 2021 film King Richard. For his performance, he won the Academy Award for Best Actor, Golden Globe Award for Best Actor Motion Picture Drama, and the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Leading Role. On February 7, 2022, Nat Geo announced that Will would star in a series titled Pole to Pole, which will stream on Disney+. The show will follow Will and his film crew as they go on a 26,000-mile trek from the South Pole to the North Pole, spending time in communities along the way. During the 94th Academy Awards on March 27, 2022, Will walked on stage and slapped presenter and comedian Chris Rock after Chris joked about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, with a reference to the film G.I. Jane. Will then returned to his seat and yelled to Chris twice, saying, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth."
Oh, wow. Wow.
Jada had been diagnosed with alopecia in 2018 and would later shave her head due to the condition. Later in the night, Will was named Best Actor for King Richard and apologized to the Academy of Motion Pictures and the other nominees, but not Chris, in his acceptance speech. Following public backlash, Will issued a formal apology. ABC, the Academy, and the Screen Actors Guild condemned Will following the incident, prompting an investigation by the Academy's Board of Governors. Chris Rock declined to press charges against Will, according to the LAPD. On April 1, 2022, Will resigned from the Academy with a statement that read, "I deprived other nominees and winners of their opportunity to celebrate and be celebrated for their extraordinary work. I am heartbroken. I want to put the focus back on those who deserve attention for their achievements and allow the Academy to get back to the incredible work it does to support creativity and artistry in film. So I am resigning from membership in the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and will accept any further consequences the board deems appropriate." The president, David Rubin, accepted the resignation in an official statement, but said they would continue their investigation. Will's resignation means he is no longer able to vote on Oscar nominations as a member of the Academy. Commentators have speculated that Will's resignation from the Academy and other related fallout from the slap would damage his family brand. On April 8, 2022, the Academy announced its decision to ban Will from future Oscars galas and associated events for a period of 10 years. Several film projects that Will had been involved in were put on hold as a result of the controversy. In a statement to CNN, Will stated, "I accept and respect the Academy's decision." Will and his brother Harry owned Trayball Development Incorporated, a Beverly Hills-based company named after Will's son Trey Smith. In 2018, Will celebrated his 50th birthday by performing a bungee jump from a helicopter in the Grand Canyon. Will was insured by Lloyd's of London for $200 million for the jump, which raised money for the charity Global Citizen. Now that's the Wikipedia version, the safe version. Now let's get to the tea, what we all came here for. Will Smith tried to fix his broken heart by tripping on ayahuasca 14 times. In his book, Will, he recalls after splitting from Jada in 2011, he sought out a shaman and enlisted the professional help of a sex counselor. The temporary split from Jada came after her 40th birthday. Will put together a 3-day blowout. He created a documentary about Jada's family, complete with audio recordings from her beloved late grandmother. He hired Jada's favorite artists to do custom paintings. There were golf outings, hikes, a lavish dinner. They had a 20-foot long archway that was filled with photos of Jada, and after the birthday meal, a screen lifted to reveal the night's surprise performer, Mary J. Blige. Will felt like he was the perfect husband in that moment, but afterward, Jada said nothing about it, not a thank you, not a I loved it. Instead, she took a long shower, then told Will to cancel the rest of the weekend's plans, yelling at him, "Cancel it now!" calling the party the most disgusting display of ego she had ever seen in her life. They didn't speak the rest of the trip or on the plane home to Los Angeles or even for a few days later. Will says that he finally told his wife, I retire from trying to make you happy. I quit. You go do you and I'ma go do me. So Will decided to go on a spiritual journey and found a shaman to administer the psychotropic tea known as ayahuasca to lead him through the hallucinations and trips that it produces. Will said that about an hour after drinking the tea, he felt like he was physically floating deep in outer space and that it felt like he was trillions of light years away from Earth. During his first trip, he sensed the presence of a woman who he came to call Mother and said she would stand behind him. Will says that he got the sense that this woman would never leave him, that she would always be with him in his life. Then Will reached a conclusion from tripping off the drink. He thought to himself, if I'm this beautiful, I don't need #1 movies to feel good about myself. If I'm this beautiful, I don't need hit records to feel worthy of love. If I'm this beautiful, I don't need Jada or anyone to validate me. He ended up tripping 13 more times with the presence of Mother visiting him 8 of the trips. I guess Mother got tired of tripping with Will after that 8th trip because she did not show up. Next, he traveled to Trinidad to relax and meet with a counselor who specialized in tantric sexuality, which is the cleansing of former sexual partners' energy. Its purpose is to get one to connect with themselves on a more intimate level through slow, intentional sex. Now, this can be done with or without a partner. The counselor's first question to Will was, what would make you happy? Will said, I would have a harem. I guess if I had enough women, I'd always be able to find at least one of them who likes me. She asked him who would be in this harem, and he was stunned into silence. But the counselor was not having it. She told him, look, you are Will effing Smith. You are one of the richest, most beloved people on earth. If you can't have the life you want, the rest of us are screwed. He decided to play along and began by naming Halle Berry and ballerina Misty Copeland. Not content with just 2 names, she opened up her laptop and showed Will videos and TED Talks of the most dynamic and talented women from across the globe. They came up with 25 women for his harem, though Will doesn't name them in the book. So I know the question that's on everyone's mind, because it's on my mind too. How does the counselor help their patient get rid of the former partner's sexual energy? Was she giving Will this slow, intentional sex, or was he giving it to himself? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now, did you know in preparation for the movie Concussion, Will Smith spent months watching autopsies? Will revealed that he spent months researching with Dr. Amalu, observing him and other pathologists perform autopsies. He said to find that connection with the dead, he saw a human body get dismantled. Will said that he got an extremely powerful sense that a human being is not about their body, explaining that when he was watching the autopsies, the thing, which we refer to as the soul or the battery, making a human being who they are, was missing. He concluded saying everything was still there, all the pieces were still there, except for that very thing. In the 2001 film Ali, playing the role of boxer Muhammad Ali was the role of a lifetime for Will. He received several nominations, praise for his performance, but taking on the role came at a price of £210. Will Smith had initially turned down the role of Ali, but when Ali called Will himself, asking him to take on the role, Will decided to do the movie. Will moved to Aspen, Colorado, where the air is thinner. Reportedly, he would wake up early and run for 5 miles. He would then go to the gym for ring work and weight training, and in less than 4 months, he put on 35 pounds of muscle. Muhammad Ali weighed 210 pounds, and Will gained weight to match the latter and look like him for the film. After Muhammad Ali died in 2016, Will Smith was one of the pallbearers at the funeral. Concussion and Ali were not the only films that Will prepared for by being in the field. In preparation for his role in the Suicide Squad, Will spent time with Navy SEALs. For his role as Deadshot, Will had actually shaved his head and even spent a lot of time training with U.S. Navy SEALs and Army Rangers. This was to practice for firing a Glock 9mm handgun and an AR-15 rifle. He then actually became really good at firing rounds with the AR-15. Now, do y'all think this was necessary? And where do you think he trained at? The Navy base? I know they didn't allow Will on any real-life tours, child. Now, while these things are necessary for actors to get into character, do you think this was a bit much? U.S. Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, where they go train at, y'all? Now, beefs. Everyone in Hollywood has had a beef with someone. Well, let's take a look at the list of people that Will Smith has had a beef with. Eminem. Back in the late 90s, at the height of his music career, Will had a fiery verbal exchange with Eminem. It took place at the 1998 MTV VMA Awards. The feud stemmed from comments that Will made in his acceptance speech for Best Male Video for his song Miami. In his acceptance speech, Will bragged that not once in his song did he use bad language or curse. Now, many people considered this to be a dig at other artists, specifically fellow nominee that year, Eminem. The following year, Eminem won several awards for his LP, The Slim Shady. His response to Will's comment:
Stand up, Will Smith don't got a cuss in his rap to sell records. Well, I do, so fuck him and fuck you too. You think I give a damn about a Grammy? Half of you critics can't even stomach me, let alone stand me.
The beef even wove itself into both artists' music, as the two of them threw insults back and forth. In Eminem's video for Forgot About Dre, Eminem's character, drunken and disorderly, talks with an ironic tone and a smirk on his face about how he was listening to his Will Smith CD when he saw all the flames. And then Will's response came in 2005 with his song Mr. Nice Guy. He said, "Look at the eyes, got the look of a survivor, husband, father." This by Eminem, but didn't bother him. Yup, well, he classy. Big Will just got another 12 mil. Walk right past E. Oh, they was petty, y'all. Janet Hubert. It's no secret that Will had issues with the actress who played Aunt Viv on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Janet Hubert. She made extremely strong claims about Will, claiming that he was responsible for ruining her career. Janet sued the network and Will for allegedly creating a hostile work environment during her pregnancy. Janet told Jet magazine at the time, referring to Will, "He has a lot of clout. It's too bad that it's a black-on-black attack. He has gotten me fired from the show, and now he is trying to snatch my career away from me." Allegedly, Will and Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton, destroyed Janet's career by spreading the narrative that she was hard to work with and had a bad attitude. They claimed that Janet was crazy and went nuts on set. There were days when they were all on set and she would literally go off on people, and they got to the point by the time the second season came where production and directors felt Janet's behavior was unacceptable. Alfonso and Will said everyone felt like when they were doing The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that they were a family. Janet at that point ruined that, and she made it very difficult for them to work. Allegedly, it had gotten so bad that Janet had begged Will and his manager to clear her name. The situation on set got so tense that she was eventually replaced by Daphne Maxwell Reid, who played the role for the final 3 seasons. Will's response to her being fired: she has basically gone from $250,000 a year to nothing. She's mad now, but she's been mad all along. She said once, "I've been in the business for 10 years, and this snotty-nosed punk comes along and gets a show." Janet's response to that: "I'd never do anything with an asshole like Will Smith." Recently, the two have patched things up, with Will taking accountability for his actions and apologizing to Janet. Now, what do you guys think about this situation? Do you think that Will's verbal apology was enough, or do you think that Will should have given Janet money to compensate for earnings that were lost due to her being blackballed in a sense? Drop your comments below. Tupac. Now, I don't know if I would necessarily label this one as a beef, because Tupac did not have a problem with Will. It was Will that had the problem with Tupac. Will said that he was so jealous of Jada's love for Tupac that he was incapable of befriending Tupac. He said, though they were never intimate, their love for each other is legendary. They defined ride or die. Will wrote of Jada and Tupac in chapter 13 of his memoir. In his memoir, Will said that his mind was tortured by Jada's close platonic relationship with Tupac, who was her classmate at the Baltimore School for the Arts. Will described the late rapper as someone who was fearless and had a willingness to fight and die for what he believed was right. He triggered the perception of myself as a coward. I hated that I wasn't what he was in the world, and I suffered a raging jealousy. I wanted Jada to look at me like that. When Jada and I committed to each other and the demands of our relationship made her less available to Pac, my immature mind took it as a twisted kind of victory. Jada was the paragon, the pinnacle, the queen of queens. If she chose me over Tupac, there was no way I could be a coward. I have rarely felt validated. Will, who was in his late 20s at the time, said that he lacked the maturity to embrace Tupac as a friend. I was in a room with Tupac on multiple occasions, but I never spoke to him. The way Jada loved Pac rendered me incapable of being friends with him. I was too immature. Now, this is Will's official public statement as to why he has this secret jealousy towards Tupac, but later in this video, we are going to spill some piping hot tea about the Will and Tupac beef. Will, Chris, and Jada's shaky past. Now, many say that there is an underlying feud that has been going on behind the scenes with this trio for years. Well, it appears that this thing goes back, way back to 1997. On the Chris Rock show in October of 1997, right before Will and Jada tied the knot, and rather coincidentally, right after G.I. Jane premiered, Chris said, "The Million Woman March was on last week in Philadelphia. I talked to Ice Cube. He called it Bitches by the Bell." Now the audience boos, and Chris laughs back at them saying, "I didn't say it, Ice Cube said it, and Too Short said it too." After a joke about women not wanting to wear the same clothes, Chris Rock then roasts Jada. You know, at the Million Women March, there were moving speeches from people like Maxine Waters, Winnie Mandela, and here are some inspirational words from the lovely Jada Pinkett.
At the Million Women March, there were moving speeches from people like Maxine Waters, Winnie Mandela, and here are some inspirational words from the lovely Jada Pinkett.
I am here today because this is an act of power, women. Okay? Yeah! Everybody say ho! Scream!
Now that's the fake Jada, okay? not even close to her original speech. Now, in one of Chris's next shows, he then had Jada on as a guest.
Jada.
What's that?
Got the big hat for me.
Well, you know, I'm a little disturbed because your costume folks in the back put my little brim back.
Well, we want to see your face.
They pinned it back.
We don't care what you do on the Kenan show.
I couldn't give you the real pimp effect, you know?
We want to see the face now. Everything's happening for you right now. You got Scream, you got other movies, you got... What's the worst script you've been offered?
The worst script?
What's the worst piece of crap? You said, what the hell are they thinking?
Chris, I've had so many, you know, I've had so many scripts sent to me that are just booty.
What's the one that just made you go, I know they didn't send this to me? Do they know who the hell I is? I mean, maybe they didn't say it like that, because I got a script. Disney called me up. They wanted me to play a monkey in a movie. I said, I'm not playing a monkey. You better go get a monkey to play your monkey. I don't know. All right, so forget the script thing. But you're doing a lot tonight. Scream, because you know they kill black people quick in horror movies.
Real quick.
So, how long do you last?
Let's say don't close your eyes, don't blink.
So,
don't blink.
It's kind of like a Tyson fight, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, it's kind of like a Tyson old fight, not you know, the pre-bite mic.
You're a trip.
Old fight should be over quick. Now, you know what's cool? We did a bit on you with that.
Oh yeah, I heard.
You at the Million Woman March. You went down to the Million Woman March. Now they had the Million Man March, and I knew what that was about because brothers was losing their minds,
right?
Doing all sorts of crazy shit. It's like, okay, let's get them all together and tell them you don't fuck around no more. What was the Million Woman March about? Because y'all see, because black women are all right.
Well, not really, though. I mean, yeah, we needed to kind of get together and get an agenda. You know, it's like, okay, women, it's time to focus on our families.
An agenda? Yelling at us?
Right. Misogyny, it's like, all right, look, let's deal with us. Let the black man do what he has to do, okay? Let's focus on us for a minute. Okay. You know? And I mean, I just think that what the Million Woman March did is like, you know, I think sometimes we put too much focus on black men, and we really need to focus on ourselves and strengthen ourselves, you know? And that ultimately makes better men. You know, for real, girls, let's get it right. Let's get it right. All right? If we ain't together, our men don't have a chance. Trust, okay? So that's what that was about.
Yeah, I've noticed a change in the street. Everywhere I go, man, that march really did something.
That's right. It was powerful. It was powerful. It changed my life.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it really did. You know, and when they first asked me, you know, I was kind of like, okay, we're doing the Million Woman March. You know, I gotta be there. You know, I'm, the midget revolutionary. So I gotta do my thing.
I didn't see a lot of actresses there. Do you think more artists should be involved just politically and?
You know, I don't know. I know that I need to be more involved.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I can't speak for everybody else. But it also, a lot of people didn't know about the Million Woman March.
Oh, they knew.
It was on the DL, Chris. It was on the DL.
Well, a million women knew.
That's true. But it wasn't really organized. You know, it was kind of, people didn't know.
Wait a minute, women are always organized.
Well, it was organized. It was organized enough to get a million plus women there.
Ass men got organized faster than women?
That's true.
That's
true. I mean, hey, maybe I'm just trying to make excuses. I was there, and let me tell you, I had a blast. I had a ball. Me and the sisters
Did you catch any sales?
We had no sales. You know, black folks took totally advantage of that opportunity. It's like, this t-shirt costs $50. I was like, $50? Damn.
Were they selling like buttons and shit?
Oh yeah, they had a whole bunch of paraphernalia.
I remember whenever there's some black rally or something, the buttons, that's that it?
That's it?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
You're not gonna believe this. Jada Pinkett, you win a bottle of champagne. You know why? Because you just did an interview without mentioning the name Will Smith.
Then we go to the 2016 Oscars. Once again, Chris made Jada the butt of his jokes over her activism. When the actress decided to boycott the event, hashtagging it as Oscars So White, Chris took it as an opportunity for shade. While hosting, Chris told the audience, "Jada says she's not coming." I was like, isn't she on a TV show? Jada's gonna boycott the Oscars? Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited. Chris also teased that Jada decided against attending the ceremony because Will had not been nominated for his role in Concussion. And then there was the slap that was heard all over the world. Only years prior to this, Chris and Jada appeared to be close friends as they traveled the world together for press runs, movie premieres, and red carpet appearances to promote 3 Madagascar films between 2005 and 2012. Chris's friendship with Will and Jada was so firm that he once claimed his jokes would never be directed towards Will, as well as Barack Obama and Brad Pitt. He told CNN in 2009, "Obama's just one of those guys, like Will Smith. There's no Will Smith jokes. There's no Brad Pitt jokes." So it would appear that things must have gone sour after 2009. What would have happened to make Chris all of a sudden take back his vow that there would be no Will Smith jokes? Was it that he said there would be no Will Smith jokes, only leaving Jada out of this vow? Now, according to writers that have worked in Hollywood in the 90s, there is a rumor that Chris and Jada dated back then, before she got with Will. That when she was on the show of A Different World, she was actually dating Chris Rock. When Will went to the set to meet Jada, she was seeing Chris Rock and turned Will down, which is why Will left with Sheree Zampino instead. Chris and Jada were allegedly on a break, and that is what gave Will the chance when he reconnected with Jada in 1995. Will and Chris had even worked together in the same year, with Chris appearing on an episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air dressed as a woman. In this episode, Will tries to get hired as an assistant talent coordinator on Hillary's talk show, and Chris Rock plays a woman that Will goes out on a hilarious date with. The date goes horribly wrong, and well, you know the rest. So it is apparent that Will and Chris were still cool as of September of 95, which may support the theory that once Will and Jada started dating later that year, allegedly, on the heels of her splitting with Chris, this is why there was always a hidden disdain for Will and Jada on the part of Chris Rock. When Chris and Jada began working together on the Madagascar films, Will suspected that there was some flirting going on between Chris and Jada, and he was furious. So this led to the tension behind the scenes, which is what led up to the 2016 Oscars dig at Jada. So what do you guys think about this tea? Do you think there is any truth to it? Drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Because if they were dating in 95 and then, Will and Jada got together, they squashed that, went on about their lives, and then they're flirting on the Madagascar film set, that led up to 2016, the dig with Jada. I mean, I can kind of believe that. Drop in the comments and let me know what you think. Jada and Will's open marriage. In an interview with GQ, Will gave insight into the period of non-monogamy in his and Jada's marriage. Will confirmed to the interviewer that both he and Jada have, with mutual agreement, engaged in sexual relationships outside of their marriage. Despite the public's belief that Jada had been the only one engaging in other sexual relationships, Will explained that this was not true. While Will didn't elaborate on his sexual experiences outside of the marriage, he did admit that he felt guilt over considering infidelity in the early phase of their relationship due to his Christian upbringing. Will then detailed how, unlike that of his upbringing, Jada had been raised in a more unconventional environment. He said, Jada never believed in conventional marriage. Jada had family members that had an unconventional relationship, so she grew up in a way that was very different than how I grew up. There were significant, endless discussions about what is relational perfection, what is the perfect way to interact as a couple, and for the large part of our relationship, monogamy was what we chose, not thinking of monogamy as the only relational perfection. We have given each other trust and freedom with the belief that everybody has to find their own way. And marriage for us can't be a prison. And I don't suggest our road for anybody, but the experiences, that the freedoms that we've given one another, and the unconditional support to me is the highest definition of love. Will also revealed that the pair had endured intense arguments for years preceding their decision against monogamy, with things reaching a breaking point by Jada's 40th birthday in 2011. He recalled a fight between the two that ensued that night, which resulted in their daughter Willow, who was 10 at the time, begging them to stop. Will went on to address the notable red table discussion, which saw the pair at the center of public attention for months.
Hell of a journey with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, there's people's feelings involved.
Right. Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's healing that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. So what happened, Jada?
Okay. 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
started a friendship with August.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually became really, really good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it all started with him just needing some help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state. And we found all those different resources,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to help pull him through.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
That particular point in time, it was indefinite.
Yeah. I really felt like we could be over. You
Yeah,
know?
no, we
And
were
over. And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, you know, I think from there, you know, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
And I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
Hey, that's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
relationship. Absolutely.
We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time and you go figure out how to make yourself happy.
I was in a lot of pain and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily enough, you and I were also going through a process of healing in a much different manner.
Mm-hmm.
I would.
During that time, launched into an interaction
Mm-hmm.
with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It had been so long
Mm-hmm.
since I felt good.
Right. Husband, now I got to be with you at the press conference while you tell the world about your transgressions.
Well,
Like I love my baby. I'm gonna stand by my baby no matter what.
No, I definitely understand why it would look that way or feel that way, but I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all. Through that particular journey, I learned so much about myself and was able to really confront a lot of emotional immaturity, emotional insecurity, and I was really able to do some really deep healing. It was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Yeah. Because I wasn't sure I was ever going to speak to you again.
I know.
Yeah, like the fact that I'm speaking to you again is a miracle. I don't want to go through this no more.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Yeah. I'm going to get you back first, and then...
You're going to get me back. I think you've got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay.
I wish, you know, I wish that wasn't the case. I do. I wish that wasn't the case.
I sure wish it could be all magic and miracles.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
You know, but, and I don't think it's about getting anybody back.
No, for me it is.
Okay. I'll give you that petty if that's what you want. But, you know, I will definitely say it's just part of it.
Yeah.
You know, if you expect to be with somebody for a lifetime.
25 years and counting.
We ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
Before Jada addressed her relationship with August on Red Table Talk, she and Will revealed that they were actually separated indefinitely at the time. We decided that we were going to separate for a period of time, and you go figure out how to make yourself happy, and I'll figure out how to make myself happy, Will said, detailing the reasoning behind their decision to split. Jada said that it was after separating from Will that she found herself in a different kind of entanglement with August, which she later clarified was in fact a romantic relationship. And while the pair denied August's claim about having received Will's blessing, Jada says she understood why he made that comment. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission, she said, because we were separated amicably. And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker, which he's not. Now, Will and Jada went on to explain that they ultimately reconciled their marriage, which led to the end of Jada's relationship with August. Now, what do you guys think about this? Because we actually know the story between this August and Jada's entanglement. You know, August was Jaden's friend, and that's how Jada met him while attending a concert with the kids. You know, she was there supporting her children, and she met August. So this was not just some fly-by-night thing. He was a friend of the family, and he'd been coming over there. So what do you think about this? I mean, and he was a younger man. He wasn't underage, but he was younger. So what do you guys think about the entanglement? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Now, it has been rumored that during this time, Will and Benny Medina were undercover lovers. Back in 2012, Benny Medina's sister Katrina outed Will and Jada and reignited rumors about Will's sexuality and his supposed intimate relationship with her brother. When asked her thoughts about rumors surrounding Will's sexuality, Katrina replied, "I agree, he is gay. I will tell you this, I have a gut feeling, and my gut don't lie, that he is gay, that Jada Pinkett is bisexual, that all that whole situation was just for the people. His heart was never into being with a female. He's strictly gay. His first marriage ended because he was young, stupid, and didn't know how to deal with being in a relationship with a female."
Let's get to Will Smith. What's the basis of him not helping Quentin? Didn't Quentin used to work for his show?
Well, I would say it was work because he entertained his audience, and we did it as a gesture just because my brother was Will Smith's manager, and we would go to the tapings, and I was there. It was okay for my son to be on the stage entertaining the audience. He was having fun doing. That was how he got in touch with what he wanted to do for his own future.
Now, your brother Benny Medina, as we all know, is the person who came up with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He gave Will Smith a break. Now he refuses to even give your son a job. He offered him a free internship?
A free internship, and here it is. I was telling this man how we need substance, we need work, we're not asking you for any money.
No money.
But give us some work.
Opportunity to go out and make something happen. Like if you're on the set shooting a movie, get me in. Even if I got an audition, 1-2 lines, get me in. You know what I can bring to the table. I've been doing it since I was 9 years old.
So later
on,
his office calls and says, "We got an internship over here for Quentin Medina." Jana calls and says, "We can come and work for free."
Now, Jana is James Lasseter's assistant. James Lasseter, who handles all Will Smith's affairs, offers you guys a free internship.
Yes.
Now,
meanwhile, we got bills over here. We ain't got no food in the house. Barely. you know, surviving off of what we have, and I'm trying to get some work because I got a health condition and it's getting worse.
Now, when you had your chemotherapy, did Will Smith, Puffy, any of these people who your brother helped or your son has helped them call you?
No one called me. The only one that was there for me when I went through chemotherapy was my son and my neighbors. And I have to really thank God for my neighbors because I couldn't get out the bed. Literally.
What do you have to say to Will Smith and Puffy right now?
Well, for one, Puffy, if you out there, you watching this tape, man.
You need to step to the plate.
Yeah, you gotta step to the plate, dude. Like, I've been knowing you since forever, before you even had, you know, your kids. You know, I was around, you know, and I remember I was at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, you know, and you would walk in while I'm taking it, like I'm in the bathtub with my uncle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that type of family orientated. You know what I'm saying? We were that close. When he was performing for Come With Me, the Godzilla movie, and he was tired and he was exhausted, he didn't want to, you know, perform that performance. He looked at me and said, "This is dedicated to you," and he nailed it. So those little meaningful things like that, you know, that shows that he shouldn't forget about things like that. Like, you know, when he got his start on Hollywood Boulevard, if you remember, Buff, yeah, I was the one that hit you on the shoulder. That's me, Quentin Medina. Yeah, Benny Medina.
Yeah, when he got a star, we went up there to try to see him, and we couldn't even see him.
Nope.
And every time we tried to get in touch with him, we got to run around. I wrote letters to New York, to his office out there, Bad Boys Production Company, several times. I made calls several times. He never called us back. He never did anything. But when my brother was managing him, he promised me that he was going to help me with my son, and he never did.
And this is how weird it is.
And that's the same thing.
He can't say he can't contact us because he would literally call my mom's cell phone. Like, "Oh, Katrina, can you bring Quentin over?"
Yeah.
To, you know, drop him off at my house to go play with Puff. Mace would be there.
6 o'clock in the morning.
Big house. We would drive all the way, hours and hours just to go see him. You know, and it hurts. It really hurts.
So basically, you guys need help. You're talented, and all you feel like they should give you is just a chance, like your brother gave them.
Exactly.
Now, what do you say to the people that say that Puff is a user and a leech?
I agree.
Yeah, he is.
I agree. I agree because how is it that you going to have my son on camera with you and not even tell me? And not later on, after all the years of my son spending with you, while you was getting what you needed from my brother, you was all up in his ass like that. But now, we nobody to you. Was the minute my brother stopped managing him,
he cut you off.
He cut us off.
Immediately.
But why would you make my son think that you loved him?
If you didn't.
If you did.
What do you guys say to the rumors that Will Smith may have a questionable sexuality?
I agree.
You don't know, but you agree.
I'm not sure, but I will tell you this. I have a gut feeling and my gut don't lie.
Mm-hmm.
That he is gay.
Mm-hmm.
That Jada Pinkett is bisexual.
Mm-hmm.
That all that situation was just for the people. That his heart was never into being with a female. He's strictly gay.
Why do you think his first marriage went kaput?
Probably because he was young, stupid, and dumb and didn't know how to deal with being in a relationship with a female and sleeping with guys.
Now, what do you guys want from this? If you have anything to say to anybody, this is Katrina and Quentin's time.
This is Quentin Medina. Help me.
Will, I don't care nothing about that gay stuff. If you're gay, you're gay. I've been gay. I'm celibate now. I don't care about any of this. Help my son. Give him some work. I ain't asking you for no money. You wouldn't even be where you are right now if it wasn't for my brother. How can you deny him?
Yeah, it's tough.
So here is a deeper backstory on what led up to Will going to Quincy Jones's house. He did not just get an invite to this party. It was not a random invite. So the tea here is that Quincy Jones did not create the show. It was not his concept at all. Okay, Benny Medina is a music producer and his partner Jeff Pollock were the creators of the show. They pitched the idea to Quincy, who was the one who took the show to the network because he had the connections. The show was then basically taken out of the hands of the creators, leaving them with that credit. All right, so the story was actually based on Benny Medina's life. All right, so Will Smith, you know, he was down and out at that time and he was just lounging around the house, and his girlfriend, a girlfriend at the time, This wasn't Jada or Sheree. This was, in the early 90s before he got on the show. So he was just lounging around and the girlfriend tells him, you need to get out and go make something happen. And he's like, what? And she's like, you need to go hang out at the Arsenio Hall show. I hear that people go down there and you just go hang around and see if you can run into somebody. So he does that. He goes down to the Arsenio Hall show and he runs into Benny Medina, who then tells him that, we have this role for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So that's how he got the, introduction to Benny and got invited to this party. Okay. So the story actually goes that rapper MC Shan claimed that Will may have given up his butt for the Fresh Prince role. MC Shan claims that he was the first person called to play the role that Will Smith played in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He claims that he didn't get the role after he called Will's manager, Benny Medina, a F word. He said his career also took a drastic turn after that. In an interview he did, MC Shan explained why he didn't get the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air role.
Male stuff and this, you gotta do this to get a deal. That has always been the thing. That has always been it. How these motherfuckers is doing now, you gotta do nigga. Motherfucking the reason why I got fucked up is because I called Benny Medina a faggot to his face. He was trying all that smooth shit. I was up for the Fresh Prince role, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? I was up for that role. Yeah. But once, because if you look at my first album, Benny Medina was my fucking executive producer. I'm like, who is this guy? He tried to take me under his wing. I wasn't having that shit. So this is how I've been all the time. But it was basically under the table. So now here I am looking at Benny Medina. Oh, you want me to be Fresh Prince and all this shit? What the fuck I got to do for it? Suck a ball? No. I ain't with it. Next thing you know, they got Fresh Prince. Will is my man. All day long. Will Smith's first show that he ever did was with me. But I got to sit and question like, yo, I know who you was fucking with. Benny Medina. Your fucking first movie after you did that shit was 6 Degrees of Separation. Did these motherfuckers induct your ass into their club? It has to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get that money unless you're motherfucking playing the game. Period.
Right.
And so I talked my way out of fucking playing their game a long time ago when I told Benny Medina, you fucking faggot, fuck you. That's when I got dropped from Warner's. My whole shit went a whole total left. But I ain't care. I'd rather be this way and living how I am now, doing what I've done, than to fucking have to look myself in the mirror and say I kissed Benny Medina's balls.
Will is my man, but I could never see myself doing that. Yeah, you are the $20 million man, but what part of your soul did you sell? What piece of your ass did you give up? Woo, child, now the shade and the tea. What y'all think about this? So you guys remember when I said that I had some piping hot tea to spill about Will and Tupac? Well, allegedly, here is the real tea why Will Smith hated Tupac. Will had this jealousy for Tupac that he says consumed him, right? But was it really over Jada Pinkett, or was it Will's loyalty to Quincy Jones? Now, if you did not know, well, the late Tupac Shakur and Quincy Jones had a beef back in the 90s. I'm sure everyone has heard the rumors that there was some sort of sexual advances that Quincy made against Tupac. Well, did you know that in 93, Tupac called Quincy out for his relationships with white women, saying that all he does is stick his D in white B's and make effed up kids. Not too long after that, Tupac met Quincy Jones's daughters and they got to know and like him. Eventually, with the sister Kidada eventually becoming romantically involved with Tupac. When Quincy found out about it, he told Kidada that she could not date Tupac. Anybody but not him. He did not want her bringing Tupac to his home. Now, Quincy tells the story that he eventually became to like Tupac because Kidada had brought him to the house one day and Quincy walked up to him, putting his hands on his shoulders, saying, "Come with me, Tupac, we need to have a talk." Now, this is where things get murky. It's been alleged that Tupac said that during this meeting between the two of them, Quincy Jones allegedly made a pass at Tupac, to which Tupac shut him down. It has also been rumored that because of this, Quincy Jones was the one who put a hit out on Tupac. Kadada was among one of the last people to see Tupac alive before he slipped into a coma because she was living with him at the time of his death and was actually at the hotel room waiting for him to get back that night. She says that she had asked him not to go out. She was devastated over the loss of Tupac and went into a deep depression. But her and her father, Quincy Jones, ended up having a long period of not speaking to each other because she felt like he had abandoned her by not coming to her aid when she called him and her mother for comfort. She says her mother immediately flew out to her while Quincy simply said, "Can't come, my love is with you, can't come." Now that's really cold. So what do you think about this? Y'all know the rabbit hole goes deep in Hollywood. So Will could have not liked Tupac because of Quincy's disdain for him over that interview that Tupac did with The Source, and felt like he had not liked Tupac because Quincy gave him his start in the business. I mean, sure, there was probably the history that he and Jada shared, but that just seems far-fetched to me. That jealous over someone your girlfriend at the time did not even sleep with? They were not married until Tupac died. Pac died in 96 and Will and Jada got married in 97. So yeah, it definitely seems like Quincy could have played a part in that. Will's first film, 6 Degrees of Separation. Released in the year 93, the romantic drama 6 Degrees of Separation is one of the earliest movies of Will Smith. The film is an interesting one to say the least. It centers around the lives of an art-dealing couple and a black man. A significant scene in the movie demanded Will's character Paul to kiss his co-star Anthony Michael Hall's character in the film. Initially, Will was okay with the scene, but minutes before the take, he refused to go ahead with it. Will did this because he thought that kissing a man on the screen might portray a wrong image of him and would further disturb his career. The kissing scene in 6 Degrees of Separation was ultimately filmed with the help of a camera trick, which just showcases the back of the heads of the actors in that frame.
Elizabeth about the money and calm her. She gets so nervous. Hey, Paul, come on, stop that.
I was wondering if I could fuck you.
Man, I don't do things like that.
That's what makes it so nice. You don't.
And you did. And it was fantastic. Came here for experience, right? We can use this, right?
You're a fool! Your father is right. You are a fool.
I'm here for experience. My father is not right. I can't have him be right. It's gonna...
Hey! 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 Come back here! Hey! Jump! Paul! Paul!
Now, according to Will, he took such a decision also because his friend and seasoned Hollywood actor Denzel Washington also told him not to kiss a man on screen, as it might give a wrong message to other filmmakers and would eventually hamper his career. Now, these words by Denzel influenced Will's decision in a major way. Later in an interview, though, with a popular entertainment reporter, Will said that he regrets his decision. In fact, he thinks it was very immature of him to think like that when he was so young. Now, how do you feel about heterosexual male actors kissing other males in movie roles? Please comment below. Now, it appears that this role really affected Will's life, and it seems that he could not separate himself from his character. This movie required him to learn the style of method acting, and this is when you completely engross yourself in the character that you're playing so that you can nail the role. So apparently, Will says that he fell in love with his co-star, Stockard Channing, during the filming of this movie. So this was around the time that he was married to his first wife, Sheree, and they had just had their son, Trey. While shooting the movie, Will realized that he was falling in love with his co-star, Stockard Channing, even though they kept their relationship strictly professional. Sheree and I were in the first few months of our marriage with a brand new baby, and for Sheree, I can imagine that this experience was unsettling to say the least. Will writes in an excerpt from his memoir. She'd married a guy named Will Smith, and now she was living with a guy named Paul Portier, referring to his character in the movie. And to make matters worse, during shooting, I fell in love with Stockard Channing. After the film wrapped, Sheree and Trey and I moved back to Los Angeles. Our marriage was off to a rocky start. I found myself desperately yearning to see and speak to Stockard. Now, Will was also taping season 4 of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at the same time. Will had gotten so engrossed in the character for 6 Degrees of Separation that when he was taping Fresh Prince, he couldn't remember how his character Will walked or talked or which Jordans he preferred. Will says that this went on for 10 full episodes at the beginning of season 4. He said he had lost his sense of humor, his timing, his swag, charisma, and his ability to improv and ad-lib. The cast and crew were terrified. The writers of the show had to add on lines and beef up Carlton's character to compensate for Will's decline. Will had to hire about 6 of his friends from Philly to work on the writing staff and on the crew so that he could surround himself with people from Philly so that he could relearn how to play the character of Will. Now, am I missing something here? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this show is based off of Will's personality. It was written with him in mind, so how did people have to teach you how to be yourself? It sounds like he completely lost himself in that movie, but many people speculate that this is where Will Smith actually was inducted into the Hollywood scene. He was initiated. Now, if Will had trouble separating himself from this character and had to relearn who he was, then could there be some truth to the rumors that Sheree left Will because she found him in bed with Benny Medina? If he was kissing men in this film and hanging around men in the industry that are known to offer movie roles and opportunities in exchange for sexual favors, could it be possible that Sheree found out that Will was doing something strange for a little bit of change? Let me know. Now, Will has slept with other men. Now, this has been a rumor in Hollywood, but popular YouTuber Trisha Paytas said that Will Smith sexually assaulted her male dancers. In a video on her YouTube channel in which she defended Shanae Dawson against his recent and unrelenting cancellation, Trisha has some choice words for Jada. Shane was widely criticized for a video of him pretending to masturbate to a poster of Willow Smith when she was only a minor. Trisha called Jada out for her public criticism of Shane, saying she should look at her own life instead. How about you worry about your daughter being in bed at 13 with her 20-year-old boyfriend? How about worry about your effing cheating husband, effing one of my male dancers when they didn't want to, she said in the video. Now, drama creator Keemstar said he immediately texted Trisha about the allegation, asking her for clarification. He claims that in their text messages, she seemed to backpedal when asked for more details. I don't know if it's true, he read from his text messages. I wasn't there, I wasn't in the room or anything, but it happened on multiple occasions to multiple dancers. Now, this is what she allegedly said in her text messages. So what do you think about that? I mean, I've heard that, Will has slept with males in the industry, but these people are saying that he actually assaulted them, assaulted the dancers. So let me know what you think about that. Now, back in 2016, when Jada boycotted the Oscars, Alexis Arquette, who had managed the careers of J-Lo, Mariah Carey, and others, posted on her social media that Will and Jada were gay and that Will paid off his first wife after she walked in on him and Benny Medina. Alexis said, when Jada comes out as gay and her beard husband admits his first marriage ended when she walked into him servicing his sugar daddy Benny Medina, then I will listen to them. Now here's the tea that everyone has been waiting for. Duane Martin and Will Smith. Was there an entanglement between these two? So what is the history between Duane Martin and Will Smith? Will Smith and Jada Pinkett had a number of near misses before they actually got together in '95. Their actual meeting was facilitated by fellow sitcom star Tisha Campbell and Duane Martin, because back in the 90s, Tisha and Duane were dating. They were both friends of Will, and one night they invited him out to a lounge in Studio City called The Baked Potato. Will wasn't really a lounge guy, so they had to coax him into coming by assuring him that he would really be glad that he came. So Tisha had already knew about Will's previous attempts to meet Jada, so when the two of them met each other, it was an instant connection because, you know, Will had been fantasizing about being with Jada, and Tisha knew this, and so she brought Jada there. So throughout the years, the couples have remained friends, so much so that when Tisha and Duane's bankruptcy scheme became public, Will and Jada's names were actually brought up in this. So Duane and Tisha filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in January 2016, claiming that they owed more than $15 million. And in documents filed in the case, the trustee of the proceedings claims that Will and Jada paid big bucks to help the Martins protect their assets. What's more, the trustee said that information about the secret deal was hidden away on Duane's personal laptop, along with photos and videos that Duane didn't want the world to see. It all started when the trustee filed paperwork requesting the court to order that Duane turn over his laptop. The trustee claimed to have a strong impression that the Martins had not been honest and forthcoming in this case and were seeking to divert property and assets that could prove to be valuable to the creditors. The trustee claimed he wanted an imaging expert to review the computer and make sure that certain files had not been deleted, wiping software or applications have not been used, or that financial data had not been tampered with. However, the trustee said that the Martins raised every excuse in the book not to turn it over, and for weeks were refusing to have any information on the laptop delivered to the trustee unless he signed an airtight NDA. Only Duane Martin knows what is exactly on his laptop computer, the trustee said, insisting that, nevertheless, there should be no reason for him to refuse to turn it over. Then in a filing, Duane and Tisha responded, admitting that they have interest in various types of businesses and that financial information is contained on the laptop. But in addition, they revealed the laptop also contains personal photos which are confidential, privileged, and unrelated to any legitimate interest of the court, including confidential communications with other public figures regarding private non-financial matters. They said that they feared the risk of disclosing private information not pertinent to the instant case, that this highly sought after by tabloid publications. So they're saying if anyone got a hold of that, the tabloids would be having a field day with these photos. The Martins gave the trustee a thumb drive containing what they said was a comprehensive record of their finances. But in a court filing, the trustee was still fighting to get onto the computer to find out the truth about the Martins' money and how the Smiths could be handing them cash. According to the trustee, the Martins had been engaged in a large number of businesses and transactions involving significant amounts of money, loans, and transfers before the bankruptcy. Now, just one example surrounded the sale of their Chatsworth, California home, reported to be up to $2 million. In late 2014, the debtors orchestrated a short sale with their mortgage lender, whereby a newly created LLC known as Roxy LLC, owned by his brother Michael Martin and his tax guy Derek Folk, took title to the property, the trustee claimed. Now, according to documents, 100% of the short sale price was funded by another third-party lender known as Trayball, which appears to be owned by Will and Jada Smith. Well, it turns out that review of the California Secretary of State records did show that the agent for Trayball is the Smith's financial manager, Todd Gelfandi. So then Dwayne and Tisha filed paperwork that showed they finally had come to a deal, allowing a computer security firm to give the trustee a copy of the hard drive. However, they noted that they still wouldn't let the trustee get his hands or his eyes on any photographs, videos, communications with any attorneys, or communications between the two of them. In addition, the trustee was required to sign an extensive NDA agreement, which barred him from revealing anything that he found that was not immediately relevant to the case. Now, people speculate that there are photos of Will, Jada, Dwayne, and Tisha on this laptop, that all of them have been getting down, and that there could be photos of Dwayne and Will. So drop in the comments and let me know what you think about this. Now, the two couples have had an unusual relationship ever since they all first hooked up in the 90s. Y'all remember when Will and Dwayne were caught by the tabloids vacationing together in 2011 on the Caribbean island of Trinidad without their wives. Then one night they were spotted partying at Drink nightclub before moving on to 51 Degrees to party with an all-male crew until 4 a.m. And then the next day, Dwayne and Will enjoyed a private boat cruise before dinner at Chad restaurant that night. Then their vacation continued at Art Basel in Miami. The two were spotted together at an opening party and the Red Dot Art Fair. And then Jada finally met up with them at Live nightclub that next night. So both men have always insisted they're just friends. But the outrageous possibility that they are gay lovers has persisted on social media and urban blogs for years. Woo, child, now that was some tea. Now, regardless to the rumors and allegations and scandalous affairs, there is no denying that Will Smith is a talented man. To have risen to the heights he has with no formal acting training is truly astonishing. Well, that concludes this video. Please drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this. If you would like to see more content like this, drop down in the comments and let me know that as well. Until next time, this has been another edition of the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share the video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.